Hello everybody and welcome to the Real Astrology 1123. I hope all of you are doing very well. This is going to be your week ahead astrology forecast for all signs from March 28th to April 3rd. Now keep in mind this is Western astrology. I would also like to take this time to thank all of my subscribers. Thank you so very much for your subscriptions, for your comments, for your thumbs up. I do appreciate you. And for those of you who are just visiting or dropping by, thank you for visiting. I hope you subscribe and become a member of the Real Astrology 1123 family. And please do give me the thumbs up and please do hit the bell icon so that way you'll be notified when I post new videos. I also do personal astrology charts and consultations. All that information is in the description box below. And my email address is there as well. My email address is therealastrology1123@gmail.com. So having said all of that, I'm going to get started. I'm going to start making a note of the timestamps so that you folks would be able to go directly to your chart, okay? So let's start with, who are we going to start with? Let's see. Let's start with Aries, okay? Aries, for you, the week ahead, you're going to have some good opportunities and, a few challenges in terms of, wanting to reach the next milestone, be it in your career or it in your work or what have you. You most certainly can venture out. This is a great week for you to be able to venture out and delve into multiple different areas of interest that you've always wanted to, but really never thought of, saying, oh, okay, this is the time, let me go for it and let me do it. So great opportunity. If you're planning on delving into something new or starting something new, I would say go for it. Just exploring, expanding your horizons, exploring to see what else there might be, for you. And if you've been thinking a lot about it, good time to do it. Financially, yes, this is a great week for you. You are probably going to be seeing a little bit of abundance there. Your personality, excuse me, Aries, you're very bold and you're very forthright and you have no problem presenting yourself to people. And, that aspect of your character is going to be much appreciated by a lot of people this week. So, if you're planning on wanting to make an impression, let's say, somebody sent you an email and say, hey, we'd like to interview for a job. These are your dates and whatever. When would you like to schedule this? Give us, a couple of options this week. Great. From 28th March to 3rd of April. Fantastic week for that. Getting there in front of people and impressing them with, when you get that one-on-one, be it via Zoom or actually in person, you would make quite an impact. And why not, right? Business, if you're a business person, they could be a little bit difficult. What I mean by difficult is not that it's going to be, oh my God, what's happening, the world's coming to an end. No, you could have a few moments of trickiness here and there in the sense that frustrations, hey, everything is fine and yet this thing is not coming through. What's going on? Be patient. Don't worry about things. Just keep sometimes, things are held back, not because of your own doing, because of things that you have no control over. We can't control everything. The only thing we can control is our reactions to certain situations or such. So as long as you keep, your head down and keep working away at things, you're going to be fine. It could cause some frustrations even in work. Like supposing, you were waiting for some final approval so you can go ahead with a particular project. It's like you've done everything and they're like, come on, man, hurry up and give me the approval type of thing. Or even in terms of if you've been waiting for some results as far as your health is concerned, the longer it takes for them to give you the results, you get more frustrated and more concerned, right? So keep in mind, keep a positive attitude and keep in mind that sometimes things happen just because somebody else isn't on top of it the way you want it. You want to be on top of it. Like for you, Aries, it's all about instant gratification. Come on, let's go. Aries are not too very patient people. So they think that, everybody else, functions at the same heightened level of, what's the word? Speed, if you will. So calm down, Aries, you'll get there. Okay, so that's as far as Aries is concerned. Now let's move on to Taurus. I'm just writing down the times for my beautiful Taurans. It's going to be busy at work for you. You're going to be meeting some very, very interesting people this week. So keep an open mind, right? At first glance, they may be like, oh my God, you probably would be rolling your eyes and say, oh my God. But just keep a little patient, right, Taurus? You believe it or not, you're going to be meeting very interesting people. Now, are you going to continue to have ongoing relationships with these people? Or I wouldn't even call it relations. Are they going to become your acquaintances or not? Don't know, maybe not, maybe yes, but have an open mind. You never know who you might meet and who you might what those interactions could mean to you now and going into the future, right? And through these interactions and through meeting these people, you are going to have an opportunity to learn a lot. I mean, it's, at the very least, supposing, for example, you're at the grocery store, or you're waiting in line to get your prescription filled at the pharmacy, and here is this person right either ahead of you or behind you or wherever, and you start talking, and you're probably in the beginning going to be like, okay, dude or dudette, I don't want to have a conversation with you, just hush. But just be a little patient, and you'll be amazed at what you might learn. And sometimes, such interactions, such crossing of paths could also lead to longer term relationships, be it intimate or even be it like, acquaintances, or, that networking, for lack of a better term. So, if you are in a relationship or dating or whatever, it's going to be good for you this week. But don't be surprised if your excuse me, if your whoever it is that is in your life, they start talking about, okay, where do we go from here? We've been together for so long. What happens now? What do we do? Where do we go? Is this more permanent, or are we going to forever be in the state of dating or being engaged type of thing? So, that could be a little bit of a kind of a sensitive subject for you. Maybe you are not there as yet. But one thing I will tell you, please be very, very honest with your significant other in terms of, where you are at. They may be at a different pace than you, and they may already be at the 10-mile mark, and you may be still at the 8-mile mark. So if this is something that you're not sure about, please be honest and please let them know. Okay, please do absolutely let them know in terms of where you are at in your life and how you want to go about doing this. Because by not being transparent and having that open communication, you might end up in a situation where they might say, what, to heck with this. I mean, I'm not getting nowhere with this individual. It's not working out for me. You're not talking to me. You're not telling me. We're having a discussion, and you just don't even want to tell me what's going on in your head. So I always say, be open to communication. Some people find it hard to communicate, but it is what it is, correct? So that is for my beautiful Taurus. Now let's go to Gemini. Where are we at? 8 minutes and 5 seconds. So focus, Gemini, on this week. This is a very crucial time for you to be able to focus your mind, body, and spirit, because I feel that you seem a little bit off kilter or off balance, and that could cause you a lot of issues later on. Mental stress, physical, and then a lot of mental and emotional stress will ultimately show up in the body, because I do believe a lot of stress is psychosomatic. So try to maintain a level of, take some time out, as difficult as it may be. Busy mom, busy dad, taking care of a ill parent or primary caregiver for somebody else, or whatever your life may be, or you're working crazy shifts, the what do you call those, the graveyard shifts or whatever. In spite of that, I am going to say, take at least 10 to 15 minutes of, make an effort, at least make an effort, right? You could have a house full of kids running around, little children active, mom, dad, that sort of stuff happens. Or in my case, I have my little sweet boy, Saint Bernard. I mean, he's no different than a child. My biological children, my human children, are all grown up and adult men. But here we have this 9-year-old Saint Bernard and he's looking at me. What, boo? I'm talking about you. And he's such a Velcro dog. So it's that constant wanting attention. Like he has a lot of separation anxiety. It's like having a child at home. And sometimes I'm like, oh my goodness, can I just get a moment, Bernie, just to sit and maybe just to, I don't know, let my mind wander and think about stuff. I mean, I'm not complaining about this. I am not in any way, shape or form complaining about having my little puppy, but sometimes it's difficult for us because I'm segueing into personal things over here, but on the day when I have a lot of recording to do and I have a lot of personal consultations to do, for whatever reason, that's the day that he wants to constantly, I need to go out, I need to come in, I need to go out, I need to come in. And he's a big dog, he's a Saint Bernard. I cannot have a doggy door. I just can't. I may as well chop off half the door, right? So it's constantly, opening and closing the door, and that sort of a thing. It's just all good. And I'm like, dog, can you just chill? Like, you've been in and out for like 28 times in the past 2 hours, enough. So take a few minutes and just, if nothing else, if you need to just go, lay down on your bed and just shut the door and say, kids, leave me alone for 10 minutes. If you need to put earplugs on, that sort of a stuff, whatever, take these 10 minutes. It's very important for you this week, okay? And if you're going to be ignoring all of these things, you are going to get overwhelmed. This week for you is the balancing of all your sensibilities and your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. That's the focus for you. I'm also going to say that this stress is going to make you feel like the fact that you're already so tied up in knots, it's like so tightly wound up, you're going to feel like nothing is working out the way you want it to work out. You may feel like everything is an obstacle, or things are not going well, and you will feel tired and dissatisfied, and be it at work, be it at home, just frustrated, overall frustrations. Keep in mind, this is a transient energy, so this is going to go pretty soon. So please just try, make yourself that cup of coffee, or that cup of, I don't know if coffee is going to calm you down, but some people say coffee helps me calm down, whatever, your chamomile tea or whatever tea you drink, and just sit there and I suppose zone out. That is seriously going to help you, okay? All right, then let's look at Cancer. Okay, what's the time? 59. All right, so try to understand, in every relationship, the focus for you this week, every relationship, let's face it, let's be honest with each other here. Sometimes we do tend to push our partner's buttons, and they do too, right? So that does tend to happen. Now, why is it that we do that? Is it just attention seeking? Is it just some other weird stuff going on? I don't know, to each and his own. But if you feel that, something your spouse says or your partner says is triggering you off, or vice versa, take a step back and please stop before, running off, with it. Step back and try to analyze, why is it that every time this subject comes up, I get irked? Or why is it every time I talk about this XYZ thing, the other, whoever your relationship is with, him or her, gets annoyed, or they get overly emotional? Try and analyze that, because you can't, because clearly this is something that has been repeating for a long period of time, and it will continue, and at some point it's going to be the cause for a rift, and you don't want to get to that point where you're going to have that rift. So I would recommend, try to take a step back and say, hey honey, sit down, I want to understand, every time we have this conversation we seem to kind of get mad at each other, or we end up having a big argument. I know there's something more to it. Make an effort. Look, who am I to tell you what to do, right? I'm just saying, if you make an effort here this time, couple of things. Your partner, your spouse, and you yourself will feel like, a weight lifted off of your shoulders, and there's a better understanding, and who knows what you might find out. It could be something really as simple as, I don't know, I don't like you wearing blue socks. I don't know, I just pulled that out of my hat. Or, whatever, that the dynamics in a relationship, right? They're all different. So take this moment to make an effort to sit and talk, have a conversation with your significant other, and understand what is it that triggers them off. If you understand that, you can rest assured this is not going to be a point that causes stress all the time in the future. Let's see. Work and finances is good as far as your business is concerned, and even your career is concerned. I'm going to say it's good. So the focus for you is really just having conversations with yourself and your significant other. On the other hand, if you feel that something your spouse, your intimate partner, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, says something and that always bothers you, sit them down and have a conversation with them. This is for your own benefit, okay? So let's move on, Cancerians, because I could go on that forever, right? And you don't want to keep hearing me go on. So let's go. We got Leos. Okay, my beautiful Leos. Patience is required. Don't let your temper get ahead of you this week. You do tend to get carried away with words, and you might come across as being a little bit bossy. And that has been duly noted. People are watching, people are making those observations, and people are just being very polite at the moment. But just because you're being polite and you're not talking about it, don't think, don't think that they are afraid to bring this to your attention, or they are somehow hesitant to bring this to your attention. They are not. But when they bring it to your attention, you're not going to like it because your ego is going to get in the way. So heads up, fix yourself. When you have an opportunity to fix your shoelaces, fix it before you trip and fall. Plain and simple. And also one more thing, you do have a tendency to be a little bit provocative in the sense that instigate, get tempers, what's the word? Yeah, try to rile people up. Don't do that. Listen, everybody has their point of tolerance, right? And once they reach that, and then when they rebound, you are not going to like it, and you're going to be in a very bad position. So watch yourself. And even though you may know so let's talk about, I don't know, pick a subject, peppers, right? Peppers. Let's say if you're having a conversation with somebody, and then they have their own views and opinions about the different kind of peppers and the Scoville units and this and that, and you have some knowledge about peppers too. Don't try to override what they are saying. Like, don't butt in and try to kind of take over what knowledge they have or what they're saying. You may, in fact, you may rightfully so have a lot more knowledge than them. But when did a conversation about peppers become an ego struggle, right? If you get what I mean. I'm just using peppers as an example. So sometimes it's, if you really are the expert in the field, you don't have to go around wearing a big badge on your forehead, just smile and walk away. Oh, well, this is not going to hurt anybody. So why is there this great egotistical need to say, oh, you're wrong? But trust me, Leos, you are also wrong on a lot of occasions. So sometimes, you got to swallow your own medicine, and this is your opportunity to do that, because trust me, there is going to be a situation pretty soon coming up that you are going to be put in your place. So I'm giving you a heads up. All right. And also this week, try to acknowledge, ego is a very, very, every one of us, man, woman, or child, we have egos, right? We all do. Let's face it, we all do, some way, shape, or form. And sometimes it rears its ugly head up a little more often, and sometimes we are able to control it. So what I'm going to say is, if you have any disagreements with somebody or such, know how and when to express it, right? Or if you think they're wrong, know how to say it, rather than point your finger at somebody and say, you're wrong, you don't know. Hey, I just like to say that this is what I'm thinking, just making a suggestion, just my opinion, and leave it at that. But if you go at trying to tell somebody, not going to work. So then let's go and look at Virgo. Virgo, for you, it could be a lucky week for you. Very productive. You're going to be busy, but you're going to enjoy yourself. Okay, there's a lot of positive energy around you for sure. Your health is also looking good. You're not going to be having any issues there. In fact, I'm going to say your health is really, really good. So I think there's been a shift as far as your opinions and your thoughts and your wants and needs as far as getting healthier. There's a focus there, which is fantastic. And take advantage, when you have energies around you that are going to Oh, I forgot to note down that time. When there are energies around you that are going to kind of propel you forward on this particular journey of pursuing better health and good health, ride that wave the best you can, right? So if you're wanting to start a new I don't know, healthcare plan, or something different, maybe start a new diet, maybe look at something, maybe you're the kind of person who eats very late at night and you're like, I need to change it. Well, this is a great opportunity for you to actually change it and try to what's the word, conscientious changes, not just a change like oh, I'll just give it a try. Like, make it like, I am going to do this type of thing. You will do good progress, and it will be more lasting for you. Okay. Now let's look at Libra. What's the time? 20:34. Try and do your best at work. You are being watched, you are being observed. Okay, try to do the best you can, because this is when people are going to be, it's almost like, we picked Tom, Dick and Harry, or Jane, I don't know, Jane, Monica, and Sarah. We don't know which one of these 3 individuals or 6 individuals is going to get promoted, so let's just finalize this week, and they will be watching you. So do give it your all, because if you do, trust me, you are going to be acknowledged, you are going to be duly noted, and you might end up winning over all the other competition. So this is a week where you really need to put in the effort and go that extra mile. But on the other hand, if you make hasty decisions, you are going to regret it, as far as work is concerned. So you know how to balance that, right? It's like, well, Kaitana, you just told me to go all out, and then you're saying don't make hasty decisions. Absolutely. I mean, don't make hasty decisions because you're like, oh my God, I have to finish this because, they're finally picking, and then, oh, don't do that, right? Be diligent, but don't make hasty decisions. Because if you make hasty decisions, chances are you will flounder. And don't be surprised as far as your personal life is concerned. Maybe, whoever you've been dating, they'll be like, hey, I just need to take a step back. I got things going on I need to take care of, or whatever. And then you'll be there getting your knickers in a twist. Oh my God, is he going to break up with me? Oh my God, is she going to break up with me? What does it mean? He or she has never said this to me. I don't know what's going on. Don't get your knickers in a twist. Maybe they just need some time apart to take care of, whatever they need to take care of. It doesn't mean that they're intending to break up. And the more we try to hang on to them, and the more we try to push, that could cause the breakup. So if somebody is asking for some space, just give it to them. Okay. If you're married and you have kids, there's going to be some big decisions that are going to be made in terms of your children, and of course you and your spouse are going. It's going to be a family decision, something to do with the kids. Don't fall for buying every single vitamin or whatever that is advertised on TV. Take this and you will feel like this, and take that and you will feel like that. And I've been taking it for the past 2 years, and oh, my life has changed. Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of multivitamins out there that are really beneficial for us human beings, but I'm also of the mindset that, the more vitamins we take, I don't know how much of it really gets absorbed in the body, but I do know we make a lot of expensive pee. A lot of it is flushed out of the system. What percentage of that is actually absorbed? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm sure if you do your blood tests and all that stuff, they'll see slightly elevated levels, but really, if you're taking 1000 mcg of a particular multivitamin, are we absorbing all of that 1000 mcg? I don't know. So rather than spend money on just anything that people are trying to peddle or push, try to have a holistic approach to improving your health. Okay. Let's talk about to do Scorpio. Oh wait, the time. Okay. as far as your business and your finances and your career, etc., it almost seems like things are on autopilot this week. You really don't have to do much about it. um, but don't forget to take this opportunity to, whoever has helped you, whoever has facilitated your progress in life, your success in life, be it friends, family, or associates, take a moment to acknowledge their help and to say thank you. Trust me, that's going to carry you a long, long, long way. So just acknowledging them. Oftentimes all of us, not just Scorpions, all of us tend to kind of forget those of us who helped us move up, right? So take this moment to appreciate them and to thank them, and to and make it like really heartfelt, right? I mean, I'm not saying you're going to fib about your affections or your gratitude here, but just taking a moment and picking up the phone and saying, hey, thank you so much. I just want to thank you for being there for me all the time, or something as simple as that, is going to carry you so much further in life. And I'll tell you, people are going to, when they hear that, it's like, I'm acknowledged. They might have never asked you, hey man or hey girl, you've never acknowledged my help. They probably don't even ask, but it makes them feel so much good saying that at least this person has acknowledged it, and that's like getting more brownie points. So you can rest assured that that individual is going to always be on your side, right? So, and will always have your back. So your relationship with your significant other is going to be good. There's going to be opportunities for you this week to want to have a couple of date nights and, happy, lovey type of thing. Nothing wrong with that. Why do we need just Friday night to be a date night? Why can't Monday night be a date night? And I don't know, pick another day, Thursday evening be a date night, right? So it's going to be a week where there's going to be a little bit more, it's not fake, but you know how sometimes life gets in the way and we may not be giving each other that much time, or giving yourselves as a couple enough time, your alone time. So this is a great opportunity to do that. And this whole week, I feel like if you give credit where credit is due, it's going to trigger something in your brain which is going to automatically energize you and make you more positive in your attitude. Not that you're a negative person, but make you more positive, make you feel good about yourself, and that in and unto itself is going to put a spring in your step, I suppose, motivate you to do even more, accomplish even more. So that's fantastic. I love that. All right, so let's now look at Sagittarius. Okay. So, the time, 27, 20. Oh, let's do that. All right. So, there are going to be a few challenges for you this week. You may be a little bit excited, maybe a little pissed, maybe a little annoyed, maybe a little bit challenged because, you may have asked somebody for something and they might have kind of basically shut you down. And you'd be like, all right, dude or dudette, I'm still going to go on and do this. But not that you're offended by them saying, hey, we are not interested or whatever, but for whatever reason, them saying no or no thank you is actually going to motivate you, and you will challenge yourself even further and push yourself even further to make this come about. Don't ever say no to a Sagittarius. That's one thing I'll tell you, because the first question is why, and the second thing is I'm going to show you. Don't ever challenge a Sagittarius, because one way or the other they will accomplish what they need to accomplish and they will make it make it happen. So you may have a little bit of anxiety as far as your finances this week. Could be your investment, not anxiety. I think you'll be thinking a lot about your investments and wondering, hey, what to do, how best, what can I get, and how do I do? Did I do the right thing? Do I need to move things around? Thinking about unconventional methods of wanting to it's not the unconventional methods of investing financially to get the best bang for your buck, if you will. But be cautious. Don't just go blindly give your money to somebody else, that sort of a thing. Sagittarians are very trusting also, and they can be very generous. Sagittarians are very, very generous. So and there are people who will take advantage of that. So just know that. And whatever decisions you make, keep in mind that don't do it under duress. Okay. And if you are in the process of wanting to have some serious discussions about your future with your spouse or your future together as a couple, this is a great time to have those conversations, because I do feel that as much as y'all may have been having conversations in the recent past or whatever, I don't think those conversations have really um, sealed, or not sealed, those conversations have really helped y'all as a couple in making your concrete decisions, right? Or saying, okay, this is what we have decided about this. This is what I don't think that has happened. And so having this conversation and saying we really need to put things down on paper, make it concrete, is not a bad idea. For those of you who feel, again, Sagittarians, I'll tell you another typical trait about Sagittarians is they will not appreciate being kept in enclosed environments. I mean, you put Sagittarius in the biggest room in your house and they will still say, I need to get out. But the same Sagittarius, you go stick them in the garden or in an open space, they'll be the happiest people. They are the kind of people who don't like to be restricted, be it physically, emotionally, in any way, shape, or form. They just always want to be free. Don't ever stick Sagittarius in a house or an office and say, oh, don't turn on the lights. We don't like lights. Oh my God, that'll drive them insane. I mean, Sagittarians want light. They want bright. They want open windows. If you go to their home and watch, I mean, I challenge you. I mean, a lot of Sagittarians, they would much rather have like light colored walls and light color furniture. They like that openness. I mean, Jupiter expansion wants to be out in the open, right? That sort of a thing. So anything that can make a small space look bigger, they will do that. So, try not to restrict yourself to being indoors this week. If you get an opportunity to go out and enjoy the weather, do that, depending on which part of the universe you're in right now. Me being in Texas where I am, it's been beautiful, a little windy, quite a bit windy, but it's beautiful out. Unfortunately, since I have been diagnosed as having, lupus or whatever, I can't be out in the sun for too long. A couple of days ago, I had to give my boy a bath, and of course, took him out to brush him and dry him and all that stuff, and just that sun exposure and stuff. I have a full-on flare-up, so I can't do it. It's very unfortunate, but if you get an opportunity to go and enjoy the weather, please do, and of course, safely so. Next, let's go to Capricorn. I'm just writing down the timestamps, y'all. All right, Capricorn, what do we have? If you have any major important decisions that you need to make in terms of your long-term finances or your investments or anything managing, your money, your savings, your whatever, please stop. Please don't do anything hazy. Please stop. Take a moment. Think about it again. And if you need to reach out to somebody who is a professional in the field, like an advisor or somebody like that, you may know everything about finances, but it never hurts to get a second set of eyes or a second opinion or even a third opinion before you take this final decision, right? Then as far as your relationship is concerned, I do believe that that they may, whoever your significant other may feel at times a little bit of fear and anticipation in terms of, I don't know if I'm comfortable enough expressing my innermost thoughts and feelings. I mean, they feel like they're unable to unable to freely and openly communicate with you for whatever reason. I don't know why. Did you ever give them a reason to think that you're kind of closed off or whatever? So try and take this time to say, hey, I'm sorry if that's the feeling you've got, but I most certainly want to hear your feelings and your thoughts about things, and reassure them that they should be in a relationship. You should be able to confide, speak freely without being judged with your significant other. Unfortunately, a lot of couples don't have that level of trust and confidence and honesty between themselves. It's a fact. A lot of couples don't have that. So therefore, they don't feel comfortable talking about these extremely personal things, or maybe just that, hey, this is what I think, and I didn't want to tell you because I wasn't sure how you'd feel about it, type of thing. Open communication, right? So please reassure them that is going to behoove you absolutely. And another thing, if they express certain fears or anxieties, maybe, hey, honey, I don't know about that financial thing, how is it going to affect us? Don't just shoot them down and say, oh, you don't know what you're talking, harsh. Explain to them, talk to them, and say, maybe that's why you and I should both go and meet a financial advisor. That sort of a situation. Remember, if you're in a family, if you're in a committed relationship, I assume it should be a joint decision, right? So and again, if they come and tell you something and you're like taken aback by what they're saying, don't overreact and go off the deep end. So joint decisions for your future to be made with your spouse or your significant other. At least involve them in the conversations or hear what they have to say. Okay? Then let's go on to Aquarius. So my beautiful Aquarius, follow your passions. Follow your passions. You're going to be happy with your finances this week. Think about maybe starting funds. If you're a young person who's just gotten into the workforce, young adult, start thinking about saving money from right now. Or maybe all these years you struggled and you were unable to save any money and now you have a job. Well, from the very first day, try to start at least thinking about, people may say, well, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. And that is true. A lot of the human population live paycheck to paycheck. Not everybody has a wherewithal to, every paycheck put away 10% or 5% or whatever, like a lot of financial advisors say, right? Some of us, unfortunately, can't afford to do that. We really are in a situation where we are living paycheck to paycheck for whatever reason. But at least thinking about it, at least planning, at least they say, okay, maybe like, I am going to start, have a goal in mind, and 6 months from now, I'm going to start putting away something for that, or, start making your plans. And for those of you who are already established financially in terms of, have a job and all security and all that stuff, if you are thinking, if you've always been wanting to make a particular financial investment, or maybe, I don't know, buy a second home, make it an income earning property, or what have you, this is a great time to actually seek advice and go about doing it. It's really a good time. And then again, I'm going to say, look, I'm not one to give you financial advice. That's not my that I'm not going to get into that. But considering the way the world is right now, the world economy and things like that, the way the economy is in the US, and it's all a ripple effect. So be careful and make appropriate decisions. What you want out of life is not necessarily going to be the same as somebody else, right? You may think investing in gold is good, and somebody else may think cryptocurrency, or somebody else may think I'm just going to invest in a whole bunch of crepe myrtle plants. I don't know, pick one from the back pocket. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not being sarcastic, but seriously, so whatever works for you is what is going to work for you, as long as you do your due diligence and make the right decisions. But then again, don't just go off on a harebrained idea. If you need to seek professional advice, do it. And even if the professional gives you advice, you also must feel in your gut that that's the right thing to do, right? So be responsible for yourself. I don't know why for some people it's all finances, or for some people it's all relationships this week. Now let's look at who are we, Pisces, right? 30, 25. All right, for you. You are going to have a great need to work hard this week. Okay, you have to. There are a lot of ample opportunities out there for yourself, but then if you don't put in your effort, if you don't be proactive, if you don't make an effort, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, that's no point, right? But if you do put in your effort, if you work diligently, and if you also do your share, then you will see success, be it in your career, as in if you are an employee, or even be it if you're self-employed. This week asks you to focus on your efforts, putting in your effort, taking that extra step, going that extra mile. Material security is actually going to be good for you. You're going to see some stuff come through for you that is materialistic, that is going to be beneficial for you. And what do I mean by material security? Finally, you may think, you know what, even though I don't have job satisfaction, I'm happy with the salary that way. For business owners, self-employed people, business is going to be good for you this week. You will definitely acquire new clients, But one thing I want to say, Pisces, watch what you eat this week. Watch what you eat. You may end up with a few issues with regards to your diet and what you eat. So other than that, I don't see anything phenomenal, not phenomenal, anything like so drastic that I'll be like, oh, better be careful. But one thing I will say though, for business owners, however small a project is that lands in your lap, however small a client, in the sense that, maybe you're the kind of person who goes after big contracts of a couple $100,000 or even $1 million. But if you get a contract for $10,000, don't just say, oh, that's not worth my time. But of course, you're the business owner, you can say whatever you want, but you will be amazed at how that little small contract, or that client who's not one of those big players in the market, how that will turn into actually a long-term relationship with that particular entity or the client, and how that could bring in future really big projects. So, that's on you, right? Whether you want to do that or not. Anyway, so that's about it for my beautiful Pisces. I hope you all enjoyed this astrology reading. Remember, this is based on Western astrology, and this is for your sun signs. Please do give me a thumbs up, hit the bell icon. Please do comment. I do read the comments. I may not get to it right away, but I definitely do, and I will respond. Also, send me an email. My email address is therealastrology1123@gmail.com. And if you're wanting to know about what kind of an astrology reading would be good for you, send me an email, and I'll be more than happy to help you. All right. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. Namaskar, and see you in the next video.